What is going on, guys? It's going to be one of my first videos. Hope everybody's doing well. It's the day after Christmas. It's a little too hot here in Texas. It is currently, I think, 82 degrees. If you ask me, that ain't winter. It's just another day of summer. So today, in this video, we're going to be doing my top five. I thought it'd be a good top five to get out there, get started. So these are all for GMT800 trucks. You got 99 to 07, 07 Classic, Sierra, Silverado, a lot of these parts will fit Yukons, Denali's, all those different GMT 800 chassis. So we're just going to get right into it. The first one we're going to look at is already installed, but it's just something I really recommend you guys putting in your trucks. So let's go ahead and show you guys that now. All right, guys, so number one, this is the ILX W670. It's an Alpine radio, and really, honestly, my favorite radio I've ever found. I've put it in the last 3 of my trucks. It's so good. The last two I had the Alpine ILX W650, and that was a great radio. But this is the predecessor. This is the upgrade of it. Um, Now, if you want something with wireless CarPlay, it's about $100 more. I think I paid $300 for this. It's probably, I think, it's the ILX W770, I'm pretty sure. Um, but that radio, it has wireless CarPlay. This, you have to plug it in, and I've got a cable down here that I ran just out sitting. I decided to just skip. They make extenders. Most of this one comes with one. I prefer not using them. They never really work right. But if you find a nice one that works, you can mount it like right here, somewhere up here. That way you just plug in your cable. But for me, I just plugged in a charger to the back of the radio. One thing I do like about this is all your auxiliary hookups, like for your amplifier, cameras, all that stuff. Instead of it plug it into the back of the radio, this radio comes with a wiring harness, a secondary wiring harness, and it's got all those things into it, and it looks a lot more clean. It might be a little bit more bulky, but I really prefer it. So this one does have CarPlay. I'd show you, but I'm recording with my camera or my phone, more of. But you've got Android Auto, regular Bluetooth, your radio, and then you got, all this stuff. You got really cool, I saw on the 670s that they upgraded from the 650s, is you got a lighting link which will change colors if you have a light up subwoofer or some sort of box for your audio, really anywhere, pretty sure. Um, and it's a really cool, I like this display right here. If you're in your home, instead of having to navigate through all the settings and everything like that, just click this little drop down and it'll send you right over to all your displays. So you got your EQ, 13 band range, all the way from low to high. You got a load of presets. You got your X over, time correction, your subwoofer, all that stuff. You got really good bounce, and you got lighting, your screen. You can change the color of the keys. I prefer white. You could do blue, red, all these different colors. You got auto or regular dimmer, all this stuff, the usual. One thing I think you can do with this, but I'd have to really do research. I'm probably wrong, but I had a feeling you could change the screen to a custom one. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you can upload a custom image if you really wanted to. Um, but yeah, that's really it. I really enjoy this radio. It's really the best one I've ever used. It was about 330, 300 $330. Really a good price, honestly. It's better than a Kenwood for sure. It's got a really nice feel. I used to have a Kenwood in my first truck, and it was like plasticky feel. But this thing, it's a real solid feel. It feels factory. It feels really nice. So I 100% recommend getting this one. Um, and you'll see, you know, the wiring and how everything plugs in when we do one of our other mods later in this video. Instead of all of these outlets and AV plugs just being all in the back like most radios are, it's actually in its own separate harness. So here's the main harness where it goes to your power, your ground, all your speakers. See this one, and then you've got right here, here's your rear view camera. You've got a bunch of different things. I forgot what these are for, but you've got your rear output, a couple other things. Let's see what this one, your front output, and this is for like if you power all your speakers for amps. So you just plug this into the amp, boom, that's your front. Power this to your amp, boom, that's your back. Back here's my sub. This is for your sub. So you got front, back, and sub. Really love it. Other than it's kind of messy. You're not supposed to make it look like this, right? You're supposed to use nice connectors, blah, 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 blah. I did this in a parking lot of a Buc-ee's. Alrighty, y'all. So right here is, you can do different ones, but this is the 8 light kit. It'll basically what it does is on these trucks, when you flip on your high beam, it shoots them to the sky, all right? And your low beams, they're down on the ground. So it pretty much, when you have your high beams on, when you're trying to see on a back country road, it cuts out all the short, you know, close range, and it's real hard to see unless you're, it really only puts real far away up into the trees. And I don't need to look at the trees, I need to look at the road. So this kit, when you turn on your high beams, it'll keep the low beams on and the fog lamps on. There's a bunch of companies that make this. You got Fleece, that's a good one. I highly recommend that one, but couldn't find any in time. So I just went with this one off Amazon. I think it was $20. I'll put it down in the description as well. They got different ones. They got a 6 and an 8. And the 6 will just do your high, low, and fogs. This one is your high, low, fogs, and your daytime running light. This is what it looks like. It's simple. It's just a tiny little board. We're going to go ahead, first off, show you what the just regular lights look like. Well, it turns out I got a bad fog light, but this is just low, just regular headlights on. You got your running lights and your low beams. We go ahead and turn on the high beams. All right, so this is the high beams. You can see the outer ones right there. They turned it off, and the one fog light. Oh, come on now. One fog light turned off, so we only got high beams. So let's go ahead and put this part in, and I'll show y'all the after effect. First thing, I want to take this off, set it off to the side, and instructions, simple. I don't need those. Real simple. All you need to do is just, okay, maybe I do need the instructions. Hold on. Let me go back. You can also just read the cover. It's simple. But it's just these fuses right here. You got your high, your daylight, your low, and your fog. So it's going to be this one, oh, this one, and this one. Let's go ahead and get those pulled. And from sitting in here for years and years, they're going to be pretty stuck in there, right? Go ahead and get your fog light out. Oh, she's in there. Oh, well, I might need to set this down. Come on now. Hey. Come on. All right, guys, that's really in there. Okay, geez, ow. There's your fog light. Set that aside. And then last two is just these, this one and this one. And this one's going to be a pain because of this one's in the way. So we're going to go with this one. That one was easy, luckily. Looks a little burnt, but I think it'll be good. Yeah, it's getting pretty hot between here. I think this one might be starting to kick the bucket. Hopefully not, because that's my fuel pump relay right there. And this one right here is your low beams. Got that one out. Now that's all out. And take your little kit. And this is, like I said, this is the simplest one. Easy as it can be. Just take this. Oh, hold on. And position it right. Find the position. Here we go. Drop it in there. And it's easy as this. One relay. Two. Make sure it's all in there nice and snug. Three. And four. So now we got that board in there. Show you. There's the board right there. It sits under all of these relays. Make sure push them down in there nice and tight. Make sure they're good. Got good connections. And go ahead and put this fuse box cover back on, but I'm gonna make sure it's all working. So we're gonna turn the lights on. You know, I'm gonna set you guys down for this one. I'm missing my tripod, so y'all have to bear with me. I just got this stand. Let's get y'all pointed up in here. And I'm gonna turn on the lows and the highs. So right there, there's your low beams. You got your fog lights. Well, one fog light, if you got one burnt out like me. And then you hit your high beam. Oh, my high beam's already on. So there's your low beam, fog lights. There's your high beam. With your daytime running lights right here. So you got your low, high, daytime running light, and your fog lights all on at once. And now you're going to be able to see the road really well. Now I know this one's pointed up at the sky. Don't look at that. That's there because my headlight's kind of broken and it kind of keeps it propped up. Your headlight should not look like that. If it is, you should get a new one. But I'm waiting because I'm getting this truck painted and I'm just going to do that. I'm going to get it all done at the same time. So that's mod number 2. I highly recommend it. It's a really good mod. Keep all your lights lit and you'll be able to see a lot better at night. Let me go ahead and get to number 3. For number 3, we've got tailgate shock. I think I only spent 15-20 bucks for this on Amazon. Doesn't have to be the nicest one. I don't really care. And all it is you got your shock, and that'll go right in the corner of your tailgate. Real easy. Got your instructions and all the parts needing to go with it, including this. Don't really know what that is. I don't know what that is, but we'll read in the manual. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through this manual, and I'll get back with y'all on the tools you need for installing this thing. So right through the manual, this one's very easy. It's a lot easier to do than Fords, like Super Duties. All you're gonna want to do is this bolt right here, the 13 millimeter. It's literally, it's one of the easiest things to do. All you need is a 13 millimeter socket and a ratchet. So you pull out that bolt, and this mount right here will go right in there like so. And then this, you'll take a 13 millimeter socket right here. You're gonna put that, take this out, and basically this swaps place for this. And then the shock just slides on here, tightens down, slides on that other post, tightens down, and it's all good. So let's go ahead and get this installed. Alrighty, and there we go. I do recommend, you're going to need a long 13 millimeter in order to get around this stud, tighten this down. But all in all, it was a pretty straightforward process. And my look, the mosquitoes out here, oh my gosh, it is December. Why is there a dozen or so mosquitoes swarming around me? So I'm gonna go ahead, clean up a little bit, and I'll put you guys on a flat surface and I'll show you the end results. Oh, and I did figure out what this is for. You're supposed to, if you cared about your paint, I don't, because it's all getting repainted anyways. You're supposed to put this, trim it, and put it right back in here, and it'll kind of protect it if this comes loose, but we shouldn't have that problem. I gotta do some work on the tailgate. As you see, my latch is broken, but there it is. Now it seems like it's gonna need some time to break itself in. Yeah, there you go. Now it's feels more like a newer tailgate. Feels some clunkiness. I see the issue. Okay. So right over here, I bet it's because my bed is a little bit, when it got dented in, this stud seems to be catching this right there, right in there. So I'll see if I can get that. Look at that. Yeah, that's the issue right there. It's kind of dented in some, it looks like. So y'all shouldn't have that problem, I hope, but I'm having that problem. So, but other than that, thing works pretty nice. This next part, number 4. Set this down. I don't want to get gunk on it. Corvette servo. So really what this does is it goes inside your transmission and it, get this out. This little part in here is a lot thicker than the ones on the truck, so it's going to allow for more pressure, harder shifts, allow the bands to grab a lot better than the factory servo. And this cost me about $80. Really not too bad, and this is going to really help the transmission. You got to make sure you put this on like so when you do it, because if you put it on this way, you lose your overdrive, and that won't be fun. So you got to put it on this way, and then, you know, cap goes on like so. We're back on the access road. Let's see what she does. So first gear, that's first gear. That's second. It shifts a lot harder. That's third. Yeah, it shifts a lot better than it used to. It used to kind of slip and just slowly just shift.
So I just wanted to touch up on the transmission Corvette servo. So I wasn't able to really video it very well. It was starting to get dark and I was rushing to try to get it done. On my truck there were some issues. I had a piece of the cab bent into the way and it was really not allowing me to take it out or put the new one in. I had to completely disassemble the old one and completely disassemble the new one to even get it in place. Mine dropped a lot more oil than it should. I don't think y'all should be having that problem. I hope not. But if it does, just, you know, have an oil pan ready just in case. But everything I've seen, you know, people lose very little oil. It could have been because it was on a slight incline to the right side, but other than that, it wasn't too bad of a job. Y'all are gonna have a lot easier time because I don't think y'all is gonna be bent like mine was. So yeah, other than that, it drives really well and really smooth. It shifts a whole lot better than it used to. A lot stiffer, not like uncomfortably stiff, but it just shifts better now. So I highly recommend doing this one, guys. So let's get on to the next one. Well, guys, so I've been away for a few days. I've been kind of under the weather, if you can't tell. I'm a little congested right now. But no, so now we're finally getting to the 5th mod, and this one's really cool. So let me flip you guys around. Got a backup camera. I took it out of the bag. Basically, this takes place of your just stock bezel. Now, pretty much every company that makes these all have the same fitment issues. What he says, you got to cut these down a little bit on the inside because those are supposed to like grab. If you can tell, that's not going to grab absolutely anything. And also, these foam pads are just way too freaking big. Like, just way too big. And they push it out of the truck. So we're going to trim these down, I guess. I got some 3M tape I'm gonna put around as well, and then cut these down just a hair. So anyways, first things first, you know, get your bezel out. Then we're gonna wanna pop your radio out. So you're just gonna snake this, oh, there you go, come on, Mac. Snake this up through the dash. I really should have left this off because I had this off originally, but snake this up through the dash and get it plugged in to your rear camera. And then you can just button this. This actually has to go to the trigger wire. Somewhere in your harness there will be a wire. I'm pretty sure I'd have cut off the label, but one of these wires in here is going to be your reverse activation. You're going to want to plug this into it. I'm not going to use these. I don't like these, so I'm going to cut it and then splice it into the wire. So yeah, let me go ahead and snake this up through here and get it connected, and I'll show you what I did. I can't video it because I don't have my tripod, so sorry about that, guys. Also, I got the cable ran right here. You're just gonna plug it in to wherever your backup camera goes. I forgot to mention, before you plug it in and run it through the dash, you're gonna wanna, oh man, my camera's dirty, hold on. There we go. You're gonna wanna get it through the cab somewhere. What I did is I just took a pick, heated it up with a blowtorch. It's easier and less sloppy than a drill bit. And I stuck it through the floorboard right where the emergency brake cable goes, and the heat kind of like melts it back in place if you take it back again, or just get silicone around here. I'm gonna do that, but through the bottom or through the top. I'll just come back and do that, put some silicone right in there. And then it's just gonna run up through the kick panel. I ran it around a piece of metal up here, up back through there. That way it just kind of holds. Ran it through this harness, and I'm gonna zip tie it better. And then I just ran it up through here, all the way through a hole, and out to the radio. So go ahead and plug this up, and then wire it to your radio. I'd leave it out just so you can test it, make sure you don't have to pull it back out. And then basically you just go into the truck. I'd follow the main harness all the way down. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done, loom it up all the way to the main harness, down to the back, and then yeah, we'll start working on the tailgate from there. Also, I got it wired up to the radio. I got this ran through the tailgate, got the wiring harness ran. So let me talk about the wiring. You're gonna have a bunch of extra depending on, you know, if it's a crew cab long bed, you might not have any. But for me, this is just an extended cab medium bed. So I had a bunch, so I wired it up, bundled it up, and zip tied it under there. And I'll show you all the wiring. I wanna talk about where you wire this up. So you got your power and your ground. You wanna do it to the green for power, black for ground. I do not want you to use these. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm gonna come back and redo these with solder. I just do not have my soldering iron with me, so I did it with these. I highly don't recommend using these. These will corrode and ruin it, and it's gonna be a nightmare. Another thing, on the actual plug, because this comes with its own separate harness that plugs into the main harness, very, very tiny plug. It'll corrode very easily and ruin. So what I highly want you to do is I want you to put dielectric grease in there, plug it in, and then use use some heat shrink around it, and that'll completely block out any moisture, any water, and it won't corrode. So please do that. I'm gonna go ahead and button this up. Oh, also about this, when I was telling you how everybody says the fitment's poor, what I did is I took off those foam pads and I stacked up some 3M double-sided tape, and then I just used a pick and a blowtorch. I heated the pick up and then kind of carved it out. So now we have nice grabbing surfaces. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this all back together, and then I'll show you the wiring and how I kind of prettied it up, and then the final view. All right, also I got it all put back in. I had to stack more tape, and don't know how long is it gonna stick. Now, I'm gonna be repainting the truck, and so I'm gonna paint this bezel. I'm gonna try to figure out a better way to attach this, because I just don't like it. It's kind of got a gap. It's real poor fitting. I don't know how long this tape's gonna last, but I got it all in. I'll show you the wiring here in a second. I gotta get this mat out of here so I can lay on it. So here we check it out. Hop in the truck, got it all put back together. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in reverse. Here we go. It's a little grainy, like just on camera. It's more grainy than it is in the video. But actually came out pretty well. It shows more of the right side of the truck than it does the left side of the truck. But honestly, I'm not too bad. It's not too bad. I do like it. Also, I still got to loom this wire. I'm gonna do that tomorrow when I get loom, and then I'll pretty this up a bit. But here's all the excess. It's all coiled up around here. Basically, I just followed it past up on this harness, past the rear shock. It's gonna go over the fuel tank, and I just zip tied it to that right there. And then from over there, it goes over this. It goes, oh shoot, over the frame, over the fuel neck, past that support for the bed. And then it's gonna go across the frame here. And then I loomed it all the way down the harness till it gets to that little plug. And it runs in through the plug, up to the kickboard, over the dash, and you're done. That wraps up my top 5 for the GMT800 chassis of trucks. I hope you guys really enjoyed, and I hope you go out and do these mods. You're gonna love them. I really hope y'all enjoy. Like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one.